What has stood out the most in terms of your experience so far?
I would say the results. I mean, the results cure everything else. And, you guys have been able to double our revenue on some months, which has been phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you can't deliver anything that speaks higher volumes than simply delivering results.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done. And that's really all I care about to this point.
Hey guys, my name is Joel Davies and I'm the co-founder here at Growth Edge alongside my brother Jack. We are a Google Ads specialized agency. We run Google Ads for e-com brands. We have generated over 4 million in sales between our sales for our own e-com stores, and we did all of that through Google Ads ourselves. So this is just a quick intro to us. This video will just be a really quick video with one of our clients who we've got some awesome results for. They signed with us at the start of August. In the first 30 days, we were able to double their e-commerce revenue through Google Ads only. Got from $600K a month to $1.2 million a month within 30 days. So really awesome results for Ryan. And we're just going to take you into the video now where we discuss what Ryan's experience is like working with us so far at Growth Edge, just to give you guys an insight of what it's like to work with Growth Edge. So hope you guys enjoy the video and I'll see you there. Welcome guys, we're just here with one of our clients, Ryan, here at Growth Edge. Ryan is an e-commerce store owner and we've been able to get some good results with Ryan in the last sort of little period. I'll just basically let Ryan introduce himself.
Appreciate it, guys. Been running my e-commerce store now for about a year and was running all of my ads in-house before eventually brought you guys on board full-time. As you know, it's been very successful so far and had the opportunity to interview a handful of different agencies before I ultimately went with you guys, and very happy that I did because you've been highly professional and most importantly delivered a lot of great results. So for that I thank you, and happy to answer any questions.
Beautiful. We'll run through a few quick questions just to get an idea of your experience with Growth Edge so far. So now, firstly, it may be obvious to ask this, but how have you found the difference in performance since you started working with us?
Yeah, so I interviewed 3 or 4 different agencies, and the reason I went with you guys is because number one, you've had a successful e-commerce store, and that was very important to me. Number one, because you obviously understand the business model, and you've also exited a store for a sale, and that's important. Number one, because you understand how to take a store from fruition to exit, which a lot of people don't do in this space. A lot of people will spin up a store and then they run it to a certain point where it eventually burns out or dissolves, and you guys have executed that business model to a T. And that gave me a lot of confidence knowing that you know exactly what steps to take in order to grow somebody's business.
Yeah, so coming from the perspective of running your business in the background, have you found working with us and the type of decisions you're making now versus prior? Obviously there should be some sort of load lifted. So what kind of position do you find yourself in now and see yourself taking going forward?
Yeah, sure. So I was spending a majority of my day in the ad accounts when I first launched the store, just because that was an entirely new aspect of business and entrepreneurship that I really wasn't familiar with. And as I grew more comfortable, I needed an agency to step in and ultimately take all of that off my plate. And you guys do a great job because you're always sending, weekly updates, daily updates of minor changes that you're making. And the questions that you're asking me on a daily basis and a weekly basis tells me that you're super attentive when it comes to, monitoring little changes, understanding which brands are selling best, which that we need to be pulling budget from. So in that regard, you guys have absolutely crushed it.
But the fact that we operate mainly through Slack, Zoom calls, minimal email, back and forth. How do you find the light and fast sort of communication versus the traditional sort of back and forth email, which is a bit more formal, a bit heavier? But have you found that sort of workload there with a bit more speed is constantly what we take?
Yeah, I appreciate it very much because with email, that's sometimes too slow in the e-commerce space, especially when, brands are running sales. We need to be able to make those changes quickly, within hours sometimes in terms of ramping spend when sales are happening and then ultimately pulling them off so we're not wasting budget. So yeah, you need to be able to operate quickly in this space, but also very efficiently, and Slack's a pretty good way to get that done.
Yeah, definitely. It's a way we prefer to work as well.
So you posted some incredible screenshots in relation to your results and your revenue you're driving so far, but in terms of profit, are you actually seeing more profit in your business?
Yeah, definitely more profitable. I would say the trickiest part so far is being able to work all the new leads, and that's something that we've taken a lot of pride in is working literally every single lead, whether it be live chat, email, or phone that comes through our store. And really your success in this business model is tied to how often you're able to follow up with customers and ultimately get people comfortable making big purchases online. I would say that's the trickiest part, but everything that you guys do is phenomenal. And as long as you have the support and the knowledge to be able to work those leads, you're going to be in a good position.
Yeah, and I'd definitely say if you can pick your problems, it's having too many leads.
And it's the same with low ticket, like if you obviously with a lot of low ticket stuff, you don't have to specifically like do calls and leads and stuff like that. But if you don't have your email marketing, SMS marketing, it's the same thing. It's just lead follow up and make sure you're capturing as much of that traffic as possible. It's the same in high ticket. It's just that it's a little bit more hands on, isn't it?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's very much our approach towards this, whether it was low ticket, high ticket, or anything, is just creating that funnel and being able to bring people into it and have the constant touch points along the way so that, not everyone makes a decision immediately to impulse buy, whether it's a $10 product or a $20,000 product, and just getting them in that funnel, giving them constant touch points, staying in front of them is definitely what helps you grow to these sort of numbers.
Yeah, I would say that timing is especially important as well. Like we made a huge effort to optimize the front end of our site and have every other aspect in line before we really decided to ramp spend. And I would say if you haven't taken those steps to be able to support all of the incoming leads, running ads and pumping more budget into them is ultimately a waste.
Yeah, agreed. Just a few more questions here. So obviously we specialize in Google Ads, and you hear common opinions online that media buying agencies aren't necessary and you can simply sort of like learn it yourself, which is true to a degree a lot of the time. What is your opinion on that, given the fact that you have run ads yourself versus using us now?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that Google is changing so frequently that you almost need a service like yours by the time that your store reaches a certain threshold. Number one, because of time as an owner, you just simply don't have time to be in the ad account. But as Google's algorithm is changing and as the way people purchase products is changing, you need to be able to constantly update assets that you're marketing to those people and just to be able to make changes quicker, opposed to me being in there and having it take 3-4 hours out of my day, which I just don't have time to do at the current scale of the business.
Yeah,
that's the tough thing. It's the time, and then just sort of one of the best things I think about using an agency as well is that we're able to see things across a couple advertising accounts. So we're able to apply that knowledge that we have and the trends that we're seeing across a couple accounts and use that logic there. Whereas if you're only focusing on one account, like I did when I was an e-com brand owner, you kind of don't have that perspective. So yeah, I agree with you.
So yeah, no, we take a lot of pride in like our onboarding. We try and give you everything you need to know immediately and get everything set up and running, because we don't like that process of when you start to work with a lot of agencies, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to kind of get on a middle ground and get things launched. So we try and do that within 48 to 72 hours, obviously depending on when a weekend is. So you partnered with us pretty early on while we were finding that process. How'd you find the experience of the onboarding and getting things going?
Yeah, it was seamless. It's just a matter of giving you access to the accounts. And, the other benefit of working with you guys is you're still relatively small and you're kind of still trying to launch, and scale everything that you're doing, which has been great so far. But I knew working with an agency that was more entrepreneurial was going to fit the way that I work currently. And, I wanted to be working with an agency where the founders were directly in those accounts on a daily basis, opposed to with a larger agency that's managing, hundreds and hundreds of clients. They're not going to be as attention to detail oriented, I would say. And they're not going to be able to see trends across multiple accounts that are in my space.
Yeah, that internally, that's discussions we have quite often is like, when we run a store and we work with someone, and if we work with people even in our agency, like how do we want that to actually look versus like acquiring the customer and just going like, oh, here's a standard SOP. So anyone that we do bring on in the business and what we have for ourselves, like all right, this is like the bare minimum, is this standard, because people have to feel that way when they get on board with us, because that's exactly how we would want it if we were owning that business.
Our philosophy is just making sure that quality stays, because I think what a lot of people do when they run up agencies is that they can hire a lot of just junior media buyers, not even just junior media buyers, but media buyers that they can get it for $1,000 a month from anywhere. I agree with hiring offshore. I think you should hire offshore, but they oftentimes just try and get the cheapest people that they can just sort of funnel off some grunt work to, and then it's just kind of fulfillment becomes just a process rather than just an intricate custom relationship, if that makes sense. It becomes more of a product, which is not what we want to have this be. It needs to be more personal, I think, in order to get the best results for people.
Without a doubt.
I think just like all of us being in different businesses that, you know, have operated at a certain level, you know that you need someone who can really, where a certain standard's just ease for them, essentially. And if you can't find that person, then it's not better off hiring like a spread thin quantity. It's better off just having constant people who are just at that level.
So far in our partnership, what has stood out the most in terms of your experience so far?
I would say the results. I mean, the results cure everything else. And, you know, you guys have been able to double our revenue on some months, which has been phenomenal. And, you know, it's a matter of pushing those numbers as high as we can get them and then seeing where it goes from there. But yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you can't deliver anything that speaks higher volumes than simply delivering results.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done. And that's really all I care about to this point.
Yeah, I think everything else is just creamer, isn't it? I mean, if I was working with an agency on one of our e-commerce stores, they could not talk to me for, 2 months if they're getting me results. I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, of course, we do all that other stuff as well.
Yeah, you guys are also good people, which makes it easy.
I appreciate that. Now, since your revenue has doubled, so what are some of the problems you're facing in your business, which you're now looking to solve? Is it more your time? Is that your biggest problem?
Time, yeah, definitely. Order fulfillment, placing orders, making sure that we're responding to every lead that comes through our store, because that's still the core of our business, is talking to people and making sure what we're actually selling them is going to work with their budget, their space, everything that they're looking to get out of a product.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Well, sounds great. Well, I appreciate all your time, Ryan. That's it, everyone. Went through all our questions. But yeah, Ryan's obviously pretty happy with our service so far, and it was a really good interview, and I enjoyed all your answers and going through it all. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you, gents. I appreciate it.